Hi, and welcome to Coach's Corner, where systems matter and both personal and professional learning and development is beneficial for everyone and essential for some. As always, please like, subscribe, comment, share, and hit the notification bell. Let's get started.
Is ideological ideas.
Say what?
Yeah.
You can say ideological ideas, but we can't say creativity?
Yeah, correct.
Got it.
Yes.
Okay.
What does that mean to you? What does an ideological idea mean? There you go. Yeah.
Say that 3 times fast after
yeah.
you've had a few, right? That's water and Propel, by the way. So ask the question again.
Yeah. What does ideological ideas mean to you when that's, is brought up?
Yeah, so for me, it means something very specific within a system, a company system that I have. So I have a company system, I have an individual system, I have a team system, I have systems within systems, I have processes, I have cycles, I have formulas, I have, right? Just like people have habits and customs and ritual,
Yeah.
But I've developed these systems so people can easily plug into. So if you want to be the paint by number guy, here you go.
Right.
And it'll look really good and nice and all that. If you want to be the creative guy, then you can go over there.
Yeah.
So for me, when I hear about ideological ideas or something along those lines, we put that under the category of creating a culture of excellence.
Okay.
Underneath the creating a culture of excellence, we have several. That's the title.
Yeah.
We have several sections.
Okay.
So we have setting standards, which are basically our goals.
Got it.
We have objectives, which is basically the activities to get to the goals. We have ideological, right, which is our horizon statement and our mission.
Yeah.
We have philosophical psychologies, which includes, right. So all of these things for me, in general, if I was talking to an entrepreneur, really is mindset.
Right.
But for a company, if you're going to grow, because you can be an entrepreneur without running a business.
Right.
You can be an entrepreneur by yourself.
Yeah.
You don't have to have others. But as you get more people involved, just like the language of, a football team, right? If I say the formation, those long-winded formation, and call the play, if we're not on the same page, and what you thought I did was to call a run and I called the pass, we're in trouble.
Right.
Right? So, A1 to the right means nothing to you.
Yeah.
But when I was coaching football at a low level, A1 was our formation.
Yeah.
Right? And then we would say like A1, student body right, which the student body was the play.
Yeah.
And then right was which way you were going to go with it.
Yeah.
So then everybody could get focused on the same page.
Right.
So that kind of language for me means something a lot more specific than it may mean for somebody who's not part of the system or hasn't learned the system that I created.
Got it. That makes sense. And so for that, what is your process? Like, you know what I mean? Like, how do you break it down?
As far as like mindset stuff,
for the ideas of your ideological ideas, what's the process for you?
Same thing. I go right back to brainstorming or mind dumping, and we went like that. I'll give you a great story. So, our first company is called Consult for Kids, and so we had built one of the better after-school programs in the state and the nation in our district when I was a school teacher.
Yeah.
And so they were sending us all over the state because we didn't do it by just who we were. We did it by systems.
Okay.
So if you look at the Patriots, I'm not a big fan, by the way, but I'm a big fan of your success. They have systems in place because they've plugged in a lot of different people and it's worked for them.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, some people that were struggling elsewhere. Mm-hmm. And this was just the way they go. And so you have to respect that, system based. So as we were going out, we started thinking, actually what happened was, so I'd go train, let's say 1,000 people on January 1.
Okay. And
the attrition rate was so high that when I would come back in March and do another, 8-hour training with them, 50, 60, 70% of them were gone. Mm. So that's when we were like, well, we're problem solvers. How, what are we going to do here?
Yeah.
So that's why we created a library of 400 videos that would solve any problem that you had if you were a youth worker, or what we call champions of youth.
Yeah.
Right. So that was the what we decided, and that was the system. So anyway, that kind of backing up.
Yeah.
So we're driving home from one of the places they sent us out to, and we're like, hey, we may be, getting into our own business here with these, this video library and courses and all this stuff.
Yeah.
And so we just started being thoughtful. We just started doing the process. We started brainstorming, and we said, okay, what's our bottom line here?
Yeah.
Kids. we want to help and support kids.
Right.
So we're like, well, probably we should put kids in there into the the title, the company title. So then we said, well, what are we doing with them? Well, we're teaching them, we're educating them, we're training them, we're right?
Right.
And we said, yeah, but we're really working with the adults now.
Mm-hmm.
So, adults and kids, what are we doing? Training and adults, So we worked it out to where it was like consult.
Right.
We're consulting the adults who work with the kids, and kind of the play on the C and the K work together.
Right.
Kind of that sound.
Yeah.
Consult for kids.
Yes.
Well, the for part of it, we had to play around with it some more. It took us an hour to do this whole thing.
Yeah.
And so we got consult and kids, and we said, but okay, so what are we doing? And then we said for.
Yeah.
And so, then we're so creative that we said instead of FOR, we would do the number 4.
Right.
Consult for kids. So it really worked into, our ideological mantra, whatever you want to call it, that mindset piece. And then we had already had the tagline, which we said we wanted to level the playing field because the district that we were working in was a low socioeconomic area.
Yeah.
And they didn't have some of the luxuries that maybe some of the middle class or the upper class had. Yeah, and so we said we wanted to level the playing field.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
And so you brought up, talking and, it took you an hour to, figure out this idea.
Yeah.
When and how many people, so when would you go and talk to people about this idea, and how many people do you trust to talk to about it, right? I mean, it's not like you just trust anyone walking down the street. You have a select group that you trust. Is that true?
Yeah, so what I do is I'm very anal and aware about time.
Okay.
Because that's one thing that we share in common, right?
Yeah.
We all have 24 hours in a day. So I don't want to get 10 people involved because that's time intensive if it may be squashed out before it even would need to go there.
Got it. Okay.
So what I do is I've created a culture of excellence within the system. Within the system, I have preliminary marks to get started. And underneath that, I have what I call course charting.
Okay.
And that's broken down into thoughts, thinking, and ideas. So that's where the brainstorm, brain dump, and all of that.
Yes.
And so I do all of that.
Okay.
Okay. And it may take me 3 minutes in the shower. It may take me 3 hours just really going at it.
Yes.
Just depends how big the whatever it is.
Okay.
So as an entrepreneur, this is a good little system for you.
Yeah.
So then what you do is you go, okay, I've got to make a choice now. Does it make sense to continue to move forward, or did I just waste 3 minutes of my shower time? Right?
Yeah.
And I always try to do it like, when I'm taking a dump or when I'm taking, double dip, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm nothing else I'm doing anyway. I'm not going to just sit there and sing. I'm not that guy, right?
Right. Absolutely.
So I'll whistle every now and then. Whistle while you work. Anyway, and so I call that course charting. Then I go into what I call obvious outlining. So I'll take whatever I did in that course charting, the mind dump, the brainstorm, thoughts, thinking, all that.
Yes.
And then I'll say, okay, I'm going to outline that and to figure out what's needed to make that particular thing come to fruition.
Right.
So is it a business? Is it an entrepreneurial idea? Is it just, talking about the next, advertising campaign? Is it whatever it is, right?
Yes.
So then at that point, I start to get one person involved just to see if I'm crazy or not.
Okay.
So I'll go and talk to whoever. I have 5 people within my inner circle.
Uh-huh.
I got 2 kids. I got my wife. I got my mom. Got some business partners. And there's a few others that I'll talk to, but those are the primary.
Got it.
And I'll be like, hey, what do you think about this? And sometimes they're like, you're an idiot, and stop it, and don't, no.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, I only wasted 7 minutes.
Yes.
Other times you're like, I don't know, that sounds good. Have you thought about, then they'll start adding to the party.
Right.
Once I make a determination, there's another choice after that, the obvious outlining, and I say, hey, I'm going to go into prototyping.
Okay.
What I call prototype packaging.
Yes.
So then, usually I'll hand that off to somebody, and I'll be like, hey, this is where we're going, go make it happen. So if it's lesson plans, so we did lesson plans around sports cards. I thought, man, that's a cool idea.
Yeah.
Right?
Absolutely.
Sports cards, if you guys can look around my room, I got a big, actually several rooms full of sports stuff everywhere. But, I thought that would be a great idea.
Yeah.
Is to, kids like me, I didn't want to do math and English.
Yeah.
Only reason I even went to school so I could play sports.
Right.
But man, if I could have a sports card and I could have learned and add, subtract, multiply, divide, all those statistics, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And so we did something like that. And so they prototyped it out and packaged it. And then from there, we go into different things to where we, get it critiqued and different things of that nature.
Yeah.
But that's kind of the, quick down and dirty process of what we do. Informally can be really quick, or very formal if it's a, much bigger situation.
Yeah, gotcha. And so, you brought up the word prototyping.
Yeah.
What is your rule of thumb when it comes to, okay, now we're going to prototype this, or now we're going to make a prototype of this? If
it goes through those processes, and then the other thing I would add, so I chart the course myself usually. Yeah. But I may brainstorm with some others in there. We'll see. Mm-hmm. I make a decision to start outlining. Yeah. Right, and then choice. I add more people to the party right there, and so usually if everything's like on go, and the doors are opening, then I know it's time to prototype it. And we've done things that have been prototyped that we never even put to market.
Just because it didn't make sense at that point?
In the end, yeah, so, but we have a process to where most of the time it's going to make sense. If we go from 1 to 2 to 3, which is what it is, if it gets to 3, it's probably going to go to market. Or, other times we've done 1, 2, 3, and it didn't go to market when we thought, but it went to market 5 months later, 7 months. Yeah. Or, a COVID situation. Well, that product doesn't make sense anymore. Right. Or, different things like that. Yeah. So, but usually if you follow the system, it's going to work out.
Gotcha. Yeah. And so, I think there's a story that you had mentioned before where you went out with a friend to, I think it was Ventura, and you had an idea and you wanted to get it prototyped, but it was $2,500, and back in the day, a lot of money, especially when you were a full-time student, full-time track athlete, all that different thing. Yeah. What is your advice for someone who is in the same position to get the funds they need to push forward their prototype?
Well, first of all, entrepreneur land. I think that funding is a bunch of bull. Like, I think that people say I have to have money to make money. It's a bunch of crap. I don't agree with that at all. But I think there's different things that you can want to do, right? So one of the things is you can just sell the idea off. Yeah. Right? I'm going to get a one-time payment. Boom, I'm done. If they go turn it into $100 million, then great. Another thing you can do is you can go sell it and still get some of the rights to it, right? Yeah. So you're going to get a chunk of money, but you're also going to get, a percentage. Other things you can do is you can say, hey, I'm going to pitch the idea. I don't want to deal with it, but I'm just going to get a percentage of the company. Right. So that's all like external type, whatever. Got it. But you can also do that with your internals. Like, I've done that with employees before. I'm like, hey, you're really good. I got this idea. I want to be a 50-50 partner. Yeah. I'm gonna support and help you with this, and this. But I am not going to do the day-to-day or whatever. Right. So I think there's multiple variations of what you're wanting to do with that. And so just know that there's a lot of options out there. But one of them is not a money excuse. Got it. I always, I think there's been a couple guys, I think recently, like on YouTube or wherever, where they've, turned in like their shirt into like bartering. Oh, and it turned into a Lamborghini. But they've also done that with money. Right. And so I tell everybody, I can help you to make $1,000 to $10,000 in less than a couple weeks, and that's everybody or anybody. Yeah. Even if you're homeless. And people are like, yeah, right. And I said, well, let's bet. Yeah. Let's bet. Yeah. Right? And so, because I think there's a lot of people out there that like to help folks. Right. And so, if you were homeless and you didn't smell too good, whatever, but you're asking me for a favor, not for money. Don't ask me for money. Yeah. But if you're asking me for a favor, or you're asking me, can I go do something? Yeah. As an example, the people that come up to me and say, hey, will you get the step and don't even come talk to me. And then I educate them in the nicest way possible. Like, you don't just walk up to people and ask them for money. You don't do that. But then I've had a guy that comes to me with a bottle. I don't know what was in it. Water, Windex, whatever, and a towel. And in an old Kmart parking lot, shows you how long it was. And he goes, hey, can I wash your windows on your car? So I gave him $100 bill. And he goes, well, he was in tears, like, I mean, he was hurting. He was basically homeless. And he says, well, which one's your car? I go, it doesn't matter. Just go wash a window out there. Just wash one car's window. It wasn't the fact that I needed my, my windows.
Mm-hmm.
It's the fact he's willing to work for it.
Right.
Or the people I've seen, like, I'd get up early to go work out.
Yeah.
And I would see bums and homeless people that were diving in dumpsters and different trash cans and different things of that nature to go get aluminum cans, because there happened to be this workout place in this recycling thing was right there, and I could see they were getting all together so that when they opened up at 7:00 or whatever,
they were first in line.
And so I go give them money, and they're like, "What do you do?" I said, "You're working, dude."
Yeah.
I respect that, but people that just come and ask you for money, I don't respect that.
Yeah. Gotcha. So I hope I'm not putting words in your mouth, but I believe this is the case because you said this. The most important part when it comes to ideas or ideological ideas is the charting, right? The brainstorming. Is that true? Would you agree with that?
Well, I'd say the most important thing for anything is do it.
Do it.
Yeah. I would rather people just go fire, fire, fire versus ready, aim, or just ready, 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 whatever. Now, that being said, I do believe that if not everything, pretty darn close to everything happens in your mind first.
Right.
And so, it's that old saying of the cart before the horse, the chicken before the egg. Who really knows? Yeah. Is it mindset that leads to this? Is it you doing this that leads to mindset? It's probably a combination of both. But in my mind, it's mindset, which would lead to doing something. Right. In the individual system, it is mindset, which leads to get organized around that mindset. Right. Solution showcases the do piece. Yeah. Collect the data. Yeah. And then thoughtfully advance. Right. Right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3. Right? Yeah. It's the same process I go through and an entrepreneur should go through, or anybody else, on a regular and consistent, informal and formal basis.
Got it. And so was there anything that I didn't ask you that I should have, or something the audience should know about ideological ideas that we didn't cover?
No, I just think that, again, a lot of people have this great mind. Yeah. And they do nothing with it. So, take some action, do something. There's a lot of great movies and stories about that out there where people are formulating some more. I mean, you were a track guy. Yeah. Could you imagine, spending months and months and months and on your marks, on your mark. Did they say marks or mark? On your mark. On your marks. On your marks? Yeah. Yeah, because everybody. Anyway, on your mark, on your mark, on your mark, on your mark, on your mark. You'd be like, dude, come on. At least say set. Set, and you never click the gun, which forces you out. Right. So, what is your trigger or your gun that will force you out?
Got it. That makes sense.
If you need to contact Brett or Coach, please do so on his social media accounts, email, and or text. You can find that information in the description below. Again, please like, subscribe, comment, share, and hit the notification bell. Thanks, and we hope you enjoyed.